What's going on, my trainer club? Today we are going to check out best of the best. Is Heatran worth powering up in Pokemon Go? So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, how hyped are you on Heatran? Did you get a shiny off of day one raid hour? And let me know your big wins in the comments below, because today we are going to check out the best of the best, which is going to include Heatran, what its best moveset are, what is its best uses as a meta attacker, and then also, is it going to be worthwhile to use in any of the PvP leagues in Pokemon Go? Before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know there is, up until midnight tonight, thetrainerclub.com, no www, to get my camo hoodies for sale, and then they're going to be off for the winter time. So if you guys do want one, definitely go there and check out. And now we are going to get into it. So Heatran is going to be a Fire and Steel legendary. It is going to have a max CP of 3754 with an attack of 251 that is going to be ranked 46 in Pokemon Go, with a defense that's 213 ranked 46 and a stamina that is going to be 209 that is going to be ranked 101. It is going to be a pretty decently well-rounded Pokemon. It's not like excelling extremely high in any of the areas, but it is in the top 1/4 percentile for the attackers and the top 1/3 percentiles for the stamina. So it's definitely a Pokemon that's going to be noteworthy, and we're going to see what it does. And additionally, the moveset that it got, Flamethrower, has recently got a buff. So we have the Heatran with the Flamethrower, which now we are going to check out what is going to be the best moveset for this very resistant type Pokemon. So if we check out Heatran right here, as far as the DPS and the TDO and the DPS times TDO overall, it's going to go in synchronistic order. We have the Heatran with the Fire Spin and Flamethrower with the DPS times TDO. That's going to be the best overall analysis, which we'll get into a second, 2041.5. Then we have Heatran with the Fire Spin Iron Head at 1765. Then we have Heatran with Fire Spin Fire Blast, 1761, which was the previous best until Flamethrower came in and got the buff. And then we have Bug Bite Flamethrower, 1598, which we will check out in a little bit with the Bug Quick moves. And we have Bug Bite Fire Blast, 1342, and we have Bug Bite Iron Head, 1308, Fire Spin Stone Edge, 1283, and then Bug Bite Stone Edge at 827. Checking it out just from a Flamethrower perspective, Heatran did get a bump in about 300 points to the DPS times TDO, and some of you guys may be wondering, if you're new to my channel, like, what the heck is DPS times TDO? Now we're going to start getting into everything we need to know as far as DPS, TDO, and DPS times TDO. So if you already know about this, get those pinned comments and skip over this introduction, or if you want a refresher or you're new here, we're going to check it out right now. DPS stands for damage per second, which means with one powerful move, including the stab bonus, which is going to be same type attack bonus, how much damage can it do? Since Heatran is going to be a Fire and Steel type, any Fire and Steel types that is going to deliver, it will be getting a bonus for, because it is matching its types. As far as the Bug Bite goes, it will not be getting a match up because Bug is not Fire or Steel, so it doesn't get that stab bonus. Next, we're going to check out TDO, which stands for total damage output, and total damage output means over the lifespan of the Pokemon, it's more focusing on how much damage it can deliver over the entire lifespan. The one positive about that is we're doing it more than just one hit like DPS is, but the downfall is that we're checking out over the lifespan. So something like a Lugia that we talk about quite frequently, which has the highest TDO, will not be able to deliver enough damage in the DPS category to be able to knock out raid bosses effectively as something else would. So that leads us into the category that's going to be DPS times TDO, which is going to be over the entire lifespan of the Pokemon, taking into account the DPS, the TDO, and averaging it together to make sure we have the best statistic. It is going to be over the lifespan, delivering the most amount of damage and the most average life. What is going to be the best overall category, which is going to be the best overall analysis that we could possibly do, but we have to take it one step further, because we need to know, with our trainer brains, is it going to be a 1-bar move, a 2-bar move, and is it going to be worth powering up from a perspective of this Pokemon's a little bit better as the stats go, but as far as this one goes, it's going to have a 2-bar special, so we're going to go with this one instead. That's what we're going to look at. So now we're going to check out everything we possibly need to know from a DPS category, starting right off with the Heatran, in the Bug category, with the Steel category, and then we're going to go straight into the Fire, and we're going to round it all out. So let's check it out right now. Before we get into the Fire categories, I just want to pull up the Bug for the quick move. So these are the Pokemon with quick moves that have a Bug quick move, all right? And we're only going to check out DPS times TDO of these ones because I don't want to go too in depth with this. But if you check it out at the top, actually Regigigas, 3656 DPS times TDO overall with a hidden power bug and Giga Impact move, which is pretty dominant. Then we have Volcarona Bug Bite Overheat at 2609. And then we have the Sceptile with a Fury Cutter Frenzy Plant, which is the Community Day move, 1713. Then we have some more Volcarona. Then we have Heatran with Bug Bite Flamethrower. It seems like Bug Bite is a common moveset to give the non-bug type Pokemon at 1598. And then at the bottom of the list, we have Heatran with Bug Bite Fire Blast, 1342. And I just wanted to go on to the next page so you guys could check out the other Heatran with the Iron Head at 1308. But more importantly, Sceptile with Fury Cutter Leaf Blade is going to be on here. And then if we go to the third page, which is the most important part, we actually have the all bug type Pokemon that do get stab bonuses, like the Pinsir with the Bug Bite X Scissor at 953. So Heatran is going to be at the 1342, and then the Pinsir, which is going to be stab bonus, as well as the Scissor at Fury Cutter X Scissor at 911, which is absolutely crazy that a non-stab type Pokemon in all the categories are smashing out on these bug type Pokemon. So that just shows that the typical bug type Pokemon with stab effectiveness are not really that powerful. So checking that out, I know that the Giga Impact is going to be absolutely monumental on that Regigigas with the hidden power bug, which is pretty crazy. It's got a really high DPS times TDO. Pretty cool. But what I do want to make note is that, like I said, the bug Pokemon that are getting the stab bonus are actually lower than the Heatran, which doesn't get a stab bonus, which is pretty cool because Heatran is actually pretty powerful, as we saw with the stats. So now we're going to just check out a brief little comparison for the steel type Pokemon, and then we're getting right into the fire, so let's check it out right now. One page analysis, guys. We have Metagross, Bullet Punch, Meteor Mash, Community Day move. Like I tell you guys, one of the most powerful Pokemon in the game besides some of the newer ones that have just came out, like the Mewtwo with the buff and the Regigigas, is going to be Bullet Punch, Meteor Mash, 3615 on that Metagross. And we're only doing charge moves as far as steel because the Heatran does not get a quick move that's going to be steel. Then we have the Black Kyurem that gets Iron Head. Man, these dragons are going to be so much fun to see how they come out. It's going to be 3093. Then we have Jirachi Confusion Doom Desire, 2532, pretty powerful. Then we have Dialga Metal Claw Iron Head at 2243. Another Dialga with Dragon Breath Iron Head at 2193. And then we have the Black Kyurem Shadow Claw Iron Head at 2056. And then finally we have the Heatran coming in with the Fire Spin Iron Head combination, 1765 as far as that goes. And then we have the Genesect. So Heatran is weighing in at the 9th spot. However, the Meteor Mash Metagross is by far the most dominant steel type Pokemon that is out right now, but it has to have Meteor Mash from the Community Day move to hold weight. So now we're going to go into the main event, which is going to be the DPS for the fire category on the Heatran to see where it stacks up as far as the DPS goes. So let's check it out right now. Starting at the top, we have Reshiram, big dominant Pokemon. Fire Fang Overheat 18.075. Then we have Darmanitan, Fire Fang Overheat 17.742. Then we have Blaziken, Fire Spin Blast Burn 17.247. Then we have Chandelure, Fire Spin Overheat 17.129. Volcarona, Fire Spin Overheat 16.993. Then we have Moltres, Fire Spin Overheat 16.273. Then we have Blaziken, Infernape, Charizard with the Blast Burn move 15.875. And if we go onwards, then we have the Entei, Fire Fang Overheat 15.873. And then on to the next page, if we go down into the 14th spot, we have the Heatran with the Fire Spin Flamethrower combination at 15.492. And then we have the Typhlosion down on the list. We have other Moltres. And if you want to go to the third page to the Fire Spin, it's going to be 14.931. And then we have Magmortar showing up right there. Fire Spin, Fire Punch, 14.696. If you want to pause to check out any of the other ones, you could definitely do so. As far as the DPS, it's going to be sitting in the 14th spot with the Flamethrower move, so it definitely got a bump with the Flamethrower as we talked about. However, that doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad Pokemon just yet, because higher TDO, like in the Entei category, being at the 10th spot, the TDO in the Entei is really going to bump it up. So let's see what the TDO in the Heatran can do and see if it can pull it up towards the top, which then the average will make it better. So let's check out total damage output in the fire category right now. Next, we have the Reshiram sitting at the top again. Big surprise here. Fire Fang Overheat 623. So with Reshiram being number 1 in the DPS, number 1 in the TDO, you know it's going to be number 1 overall. That's not a big surprise here. It definitely could still get nerfed. But next, looky here, we have Heatran, Fire Spin Flamethrower, 549.1 in the 2nd spot. First available right now, which is absolutely dominant. Like I said, guys, if it's going to have a high TDO, it can really pull up that DPS, because now we have the Entei with the Fire Fang Overheat combination at 5 545. And then we have another Entei coming in, Fire Spin Overheat at 532. And then we have Ho-Oh, Hidden Power Fire Blast, which is typically a pretty tanky type Pokemon at 530. Then we have another Heatran with the Fire Spin Fire Blast, 529, which is a little bit down there, but it's still pretty far up there. Then we have Entei, Volcarona, Entei. Look at that Entei being dominant in that TDO category. Then we have Moltres in the next page at the 11th spot, 491 with the Fire Spin Overheat combination. Then we have Charizard down on the list, Fire Spin Blast Burn 416. Then we actually have the Arcanine Fire Spin Flamethrower 407. Chandelure is quite far down there, which is why it doesn't dominate the category, because its DPS is pretty good, but it doesn't hold enough weight in the TDO category. Fire Spin Overheat at 398. And then if you want to go to the third page, you could definitely check it out here. But if you want to do something, you saw high DPS on that Blaziken, and you saw a pretty relatively low TDO at the 382 with the Fire Spin Blast Burn combination. And go ahead and pause here to check out anything else you would like. Wow, guys, big shakeup right there. We saw the Heatran go from the 14th spot in the DPS all the way to the #1 spot in the TDO, which for the Entei, when it did that, it really brought it up to the top. So now let's check out. What do you guys think? Where is the Heatran going to sit overall? Because this is going to be the best statistical analysis using DPS, TDO combined to see over the lifespan of the Pokemon, taking into account the stab effectiveness and the damage potential, because we want to deliver damage while we are using meta attackers. These are never going to be defensive Pokemon. Unless you checked out my video, that's going to be the top 10 features for Pokemon Go that I recommended in 2020 that could make it better. And if we got one spot per gym that could be a defender, that would be a legendary. But besides that, we're not using it as a defender, but PvP can kind of be more of a defender type game, which is pretty cool. So we're going to check out DPS times TDO right now. Then we'll get into what we do with the Heatran as far as the meta attackers, and then we'll check it out in PvP. So here we go, DPS times TDO, Heatran, fire attackers right now. As far as the DPS times TDO, overall we have Reshiram, big surprise, like I said, not out yet, but it is going to be the benchmark, 3.683. Then we have Volcarona, Fire Spin Overheat at 2.514, also not out yet. Then we have Darmanitan, also not out, Fire Fang Overheat, 2.199. Then we have Entei, which is actually out, Fire Fang Overheat at 2.179. Then we have Moltres, Fire Spin Overheat at 2.117. And then coming in the third available right now, we have Heatran, Fire Spin Flamethrower at 2,041, which is pretty good. Really like that. Then we have Chandelure. Like I said, if it had a little bit higher TDO, it would be higher on the list. Fire Spin Overheat at 2,000. Then we have Entei with Fire Spin Overheat at 1982. Then we have Blaziken, Fire Spin Blast Burn, 1963, and then Entei. And then going on to the second page, we have the Heatran with the Fire Blast, which is going to be 1761. Then we have Charizard, Fire Spin Blast Burn, Commute Today move, 1665. And if you guys want to check out anything on this list, you could go ahead and pause and check out something like the Infernape, the Flareon, or if you really want to reach down there on the third page, you can go ahead and do so and check out any of the other Pokemon here, like checking out the Ho-Oh all the way down there at the 29th spot at the 1138. Big shakeup, guys. That's pretty unique, pretty cool. Heatran is going to be #3 as far as the meta attackers go, and in my opinion, combined with all of the resistances that it does have, which are pretty crazy, it's got a bunch of double resistances that include Bug, Fairy, Grass, Ice, Poison, and Steel, all double resistance, and then it's gonna have single resistances to Dragon, Flying, Normal, and Psychic. So that is one humongous list that is going to be all resistances, which is gonna be more of a PvP type Pokemon in my opinion. However, as far as meta attackers go, I really do actually like this Pokemon. Reshiram is obviously gonna be better. Entei is better, Moltres is better. Moltres is slightly more glassy, and it's got a little bit more weaknesses than this Heatran does, and it's not incredibly higher on the list. So, as far as this Pokemon goes, I would actually suggest powering it up. I wouldn't rush to power it up though. Save it until it becomes meta relevant for a raid boss. Like, get a good one, get out there, do the raid hours, do your once per day as far as the free passes, start stacking up on them, get those shinies, and then you can always lucky trade the shinies, because a lucky shiny Heatran that can be powered up for 112,000 Stardust at level 20 would be way better. And then save it until it becomes relevant, because at some point there's a good chance that it's going to be relevant for a raid boss, and it's going to shine as the #1 because it's going to be double resistance, meaning over the lifespan of its attack, it's going to be able to do more damage because it's not going to die out and have those die out seconds in the swap. right? So that's where we're sitting, guys. I really like this Pokemon, especially with the new Flamethrower moveset. And as far as PvP goes, let's check it out right now. So it cannot get into the Great League at any point, even if it's level 15, it will not go low enough. As far as the Ultra League, it's going to be ranked 138 with the Fire Spin, Flamethrower, and Stone Edge combination. So as far as the Ultra League, there's a ton of other Pokemon that are gonna reign supreme, which is actually gonna be Typhlosion. You did see Typhlosion way down on the DPS times TDO list, the DPS list, the TDO list, but as far as an Ultra League Pokemon and where it's maxing out and where it's max CP and its defense abilities, it's definitely gonna be sitting above it in the Ultra League. But as far as the Master League, and I know you guys are thinking like, crap, what happened to this Pokemon? Don't be fearful, because in the Master League, it's going to be ranked 33, which is going to be the first available fire type Pokemon in the Master League. So it's definitely going to be something that you want with the Fire Spin, the Flamethrower, and the Iron Head combination. But with it being top 3 attackers in the meta relevant that are available right now, with it being the #1 fire attacker in the Master League when we have the Go League coming soon, I mean, this is a Pokemon that you absolutely must have. As far as the Master League stats, I'm not going to give you the Ultra League stats because it's so far down. There's so many more superior. Master League, 100% IV. So you want to be out there checking out those 100% IVs, because meta attacker, 100% IV is going to be the best. As far as defense for the PvP purposes, in the Master League, it's going to be as far up as possible, which is going to be the 100% IV. So Heatran, recommendations, hunt it down, know which ones you're getting after, use your ground Pokemon, check out my counter guide, and max out. So I thank you guys for being here, all my likers, commenters, subscribers, and Patreon members, for taking their subscriptions to the next level. I'm going to see you guys out on the next video. Peace!
I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.